Greetings, everyone. RPG Day 2021, Day 29, with I, Eric Shuke. Welcome back. Today's word is system, and I'm going to talk about my favourite game, favourite system. And that would be, on one hand, Dungeons and Dragons / Pathfinder / the D20 system. I've played many RPGs, most of them fantasy ones, and I've enjoyed the majority of them. I've always sort of come back to the Dungeons and Dragons game. In the 80s and 90s, early OOs, actually even into the late OOs, Dungeons and Dragons was my go-to game for fantasy. As much as I like things like Rolemaster, occasional RuneQuest game, a few others, D&D was always the one that I came back to. Part of that is because, simply as I was growing up, Dungeons and Dragons was the only role-playing game I'd ever heard of. It wasn't until I actually got into the hobby in the late 80s that I suddenly realised that there were hundreds of role-playing games. And I've enjoyed, as I say, most of the ones that I've played. Dungeons and Dragons kind of captures for me the feel of what I want out of a fantasy role-playing game. And so I've always gone back to it. And while I did have a bit of a sort of moment when they announced the changes to 3rd edition, I sort of read through that, and it was very much a case of, don't like this, they're messing with my game. And but when I actually came to play the D20 system, I was like, this is awesome. It's got flaws, but it's awesome. When we finally got to play Pathfinder, it was a kind of mind-blown moment. We've never really been the sort of group to play twinky, overpowered, sort of crazy-ass characters. And we kind of rebelled against it a little bit in the 3.x D&D. Despite the fact we had a player at one point who was very much a rules lawyer, very much a power gamer, and it caused a little bit of trouble. Now with Pathfinder, oddly enough, the characters that we play now would probably put anything that he built to shame. It's a bit of a shame as well. Pathfinder took Pathfinder 1st edition, I better point out, took the D20 system and ran with it and fixed quite a few of the issues. Still didn't fix one of them, which really grumbles me, which is the grapple wrestling sort of rules. But everything else worked brilliantly. And they upped the power level, which is why, the characters that you can get without even really trying at points are a lot more powerful than what we used to play. But the D20 system still fits really well with the sort of fantasy role-playing that I want. Nothing has ever really held a candle to Dungeons and Dragons and 1st edition Pathfinder. And it will always be my go-to system now, PF1. If we were talking, however, other genres, if I wanted to run a horror game, for example, I would use the Call of Cthulhu, the what I think Chaosium call the basic role-playing system, because it's simple. It doesn't try and do anything fancy. The only sort of real extra mechanic to it is a sanity check and madness, and you can tone that to what you need it to be. And it just allows for a straightforward system that doesn't rely on inflated systems like a lot of fantasy games do, and you can focus on the feel. I don't know about a favourite science fiction system, though, because while there are certain ones that I enjoy because they are often licensed products based on an established thing like Star Trek or Star Wars or what have you. I don't think I have a favoured system for that, because generally they're built into the setting that you're trying to portray. Though I don't know, actually. That's a good question. So I don't think I have a favourite sci-fi system. I don't like comedy games, so I'm not even going to touch that. Favourite generic system, it's a bit of an odd one, because I only know of 3 really: GURPS, Savage Worlds, and one that a friend published a few years back called When Worlds Collide. Out of those, I would probably have to go. See, it's really difficult. I'm probably going to err on the side of GURPS, but I find generic systems are a bit. I don't know. I don't want to be unkind to them, but they generally don't have the same enjoyment for me as I get out of a system that's built around a certain setting or feel or licensed product. GURPS is probably about right, although it's I don't find it very flavourful. Savage Worlds is nice, but it's a little too simplistic. And my friend's game, When Worlds Collide, I've never run or played it. I have a signed copy which sits on my shelf, but if I'm honest, I find that a little overly complicated. If I had to pick a specific system that I like best of all, the top of the totem pole, it would be Pathfinder First Edition. Yes. So I'd be interested to see or hear what your favourite system is, and why. That's always an important question. Why? Pop that in the comment down below. Do a vid. Send me a link. What have you. I look forward to it. If you enjoyed the vid, give me a thumbs up, yay, and hit that subscribe button. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. We're almost out of RPG 2021. I think we've only got a couple more days left. Let me just check. Where are we? Screen's booting up. Yeah, there's only 2 more days. Monday and Tuesday. Mention and thank. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next vid. Take care. Good gaming.